It is the day of the India versus Bangladesh match, but sorry, not Bangladesh.
Yes.
It is Bangladesh. Why am I getting confused? But it is also the day of today marks the start of the Durga Puja in India, and it is a big festival. It is an incredible mix of culture and sports here in India. People all over the country will be celebrating the match as well as Durga Puja, and that is why we are here. Me, Gargi, Boryada, Arthoda and Raja will be talking through the match and we will building up to the match. But when we talk about India versus Bangladesh, do you look at it as a quality contest?
You go first. It always is. There is a lot of needle between India and Bangladesh. It shouldn't have been like this. India was probably the big brother, but at some point of time, Bangladesh wanted to break free, wanted an identity of its own, and the players have started to see themselves as competitors to India, which is lovely. But sometimes they carry it to the other extreme. So it'll be a good contest. I'm looking forward to a great match, particularly because India has not had a great record against Bangladesh in the recent time. But I'm not a believer in numbers. I believe that the team that plays better will win, and I think India has got the form going into this match.
I think the last few years in particular, I have sensed a bit of something extra. The Bangladesh players, I see some extra urge in them, particularly when they take on the Indians. This match has become, a big match for them. I mean, I'm sure they are very serious about other teams as well. But when they take on India, I sense a bit of something extra in them. I mean, they try to outperform themselves. They try to outdo themselves, which is good for the contest.
He's right. I mean, both of them are. I mean, there is a spice to this contest, despite all the share and all. I mean, if you see Mohammad Ashraful saying that this is the new rivalry in Asia, it is not simply like India-Pakistan, it's now India-Bangladesh. If you see the Nagin dance, if you see Mushfiqur Rahim, if you see what all happened, this is not an easy contest. And India has everything to lose, Bangladesh has everything to gain. So that sort of makes it that much more spicy as far as we are concerned.
Talking about spicy, since it is Durga Puja and it is a great day for India, we went to this beautiful Durga Puja, oh my god, Durga Puja celebration in DPS Mega City, and they had a wonderful mixture of Egypt and India, and they had culminated the two cultures and made a beautiful occasion out of it.
She's forgetting the word. It's pandal in Bangla, in pandal in English. Yesterday she because we say O, she said pandal, so that's fine. I mean, Gargi pandal in English, it's the same thing. Gargi is doing her absolute best to learn Bengali in the middle of this whole thing. And by the way, Raja is already a veteran in Bangla. He speaks Bangla also. I mean, we'll make him speak Bangla on the show. So that's about it. But here's DPS Mega City for you. Hello and welcome to this very special episode of our World Cup celebration, and look at where we are. We're at the DPS Mega City School here in Kolkata at the invite of Principal Indrani Shannal with teachers and my colleagues and school trustees and senior management. This is a very special show. India v Bangladesh Cricket World Cup. On the occasion of Pujo, behind me is the Pratima, beautiful mesh between Egypt and Bengal. Let's take quick comments. I've got my senior colleague Raja Raman with me. So this is great, isn't it?
Oh, fabulous. It tells us that we are one world. Thanks to the principal ma'am and to the teachers for showing us one more time that this is a beautiful world. We are no longer an Indian culture we are actually a world culture, bringing Egypt home to the students here. And then even the goddesses dressed with the Egyptian crown. I think it is really wonderful. But like you said, India versus Bangladesh, two beautiful lands divided by a border, but brought together by cricket.
Brought together by cricket and also brought together by one man, the same man writing the national anthem of two countries, and that's what we celebrate, Jono Gono Mono and Amar Sonar Bangla. Why don't I go to Shormishta on that? Cultures bring the two countries together.
Yes, and I'm truly delighted to be here in the school today. What we've seen is magnificent. The teachers, students, all of them dancing together, and there was a little drummer who is from class 3, and he was drumming away like, nothing. So it was wonderful to see them. And yes, this is a culture that brings, Bengal and Bangladesh together. Pujo is a time when we have a lot of people from Bangladesh coming over here to celebrate, and it is very opportune that the cricket match is also at this time. So while there is a spirit of rivalry, but it's also a spirit of camaraderie, and we share so much by way of the food we eat, the Dhakai saris that we love to wear. So I'm really looking forward to the match and so glad to be here today.
So, Gargi, have you seen anything like this Pujo sport, what you just saw in the school?
Absolutely not. And I think it was such a beautiful mixture of Egypt and India, the cultures together. And it's really a show of and a proof of how similar we are as human beings, no matter what the culture, no matter what the country. If we're divided by borders, like Raja said, it is all about the heart that resides within us.
Brilliant, ma'am. Where did Egypt come from? All of this is by you all, teachers and students. Tell me a little bit.
Well, we really believe in unity and diversity, and the two great ancient cultures we wanted to celebrate. Of course, this is the brainchild of my headmaster, Mr. Jude Baptist, and
There you go. I'll come to the band.
yes,
Yes.
and we wanted to celebrate life and also celebrate the spirit of positiveness, where all my students, teachers, class 4 employees, the parents have all worked together. Everything is in-house and they are reusable. So we wanted to teach the students that all of us are the same. Religion really means binding people and not dividing. I hope all the best for the Bangladesh and India team.
You know what
Thank
she just
you.
said? She just said everybody work together. She said teachers work together, students work together. That's what the Indian team is doing so far. We've seen Rohit Sharma lead from the front, but one man doesn't make a team. We've seen the whole of the bowling unit come together. We've seen the batting unit come together. That explains the 3 wins. Australia, Afghanistan, and of course, Pakistan. Jude, this is your project, you said. Tell me a little bit.
Wow, I'm feeling nostalgic. At the same time, I'm choked. There's a big lump in my throat.
Coming back to India versus Bangladesh, Bangladesh so far in the tournament, in the World Cup, has only won one match so far, while India has been completely dominating in their efforts so far. Will this be another one-sided match, do you reckon?
No, not really. Bangladesh will not want it one-sided. But I think as fans, everybody will want it to finish early. Just like India beat Pakistan, they will want India to beat Bangladesh with comfort, so that India is 4 on 4. And
Raja, do you see that? See that on your screen? People are actually showing that Nagin dance poster on screen.
I think some things are not forgotten very easily. They might be forgiven, but not forgotten. And fans have long memories. They say public memory is short, Dada, but our fans, I don't think they forget in a hurry. And they will constantly keep reminding the Bangladeshis of the Nagin.
These things add to it. These things add to the whole thing. I mean, these are important. I mean, at the heat of the moment, these things happen. Some of them are not very pleasant. But in the long run, when you look back, you think that, okay, these are the elements which added something to this contest. I mean, not all of it was very pleasant, but some of it was needed.
You remember that?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I don't.
So the Nagin dance Rohan does, I mean a lot of our people do. 29 runs of 8 balls in Dinesh Karthik. And Shomo Sarkar will never forget that. I mean, imagine what happened. And the Shomo Sarkar at the end of the game, hunched down. I mean, exact visuals. Nidahas trophy in Sri Lanka. That's the Nagin dance, but there you go.
But absolutely, and since we're looking at all these fan visuals, I want to show you guys, everyone who has tuned in to watch this show, some more fan footage. So we're going to get Shubhayan and Debashish in here to show us what the mood is like at the stadium.
Hi, this is Shubhayan Chakravarti from Rep Sports. With me is Debashish Sen. We are outside the MCS Stadium in Pune, and you can see the enthusiasm among the fans. It's sky high. Everyone is backing the men in blue to make it 4 out of 4. Debashish, fourth one on the line. Can India make it?
Absolutely, the momentum the Indian team is in, so it won't be a surprise if India steamroll Bangladesh because if the form, all the and the good thing about this Indian team is that everyone is contributing.
Right.
And be it the captain is leading from the front. KL Rahul is amongst fronts. Virat is in great form. So is Shubman. Obviously, he only scored 16 runs, but the way he scored against Pakistan means he looked in, and also the going by the practices and so. And the bowlers have all performed led by Jasprit Bumrah. So I for one will not be surprised if India goes on to register another comprehensive win.
But absolutely, but this rivalry, as Mohammad Ashraful said in our interview, it's bigger than India-Pakistan in recent times. Bangladesh have won 3 out of the last 4 ODIs, including the bilateral series, including one game in Asia Cup. So India somehow managed to struggle against Bangladesh. Why it is the case, Debashish?
Yeah, obviously, I think means it has got nothing to do. It's only that in a 50-over game you need to win the moment. You need to grab the chances, which is not the case. Means but for me this World Cup game it's going to be different. Obviously, India is going to set the record straight. Obviously, in the recent match against Bangladesh in the Asia Cup, there is a revenge also. Means obviously India would love to seek a revenge, and for once, I think India will definitely do good in this game.
Absolutely. One big question heading into this match is about the availability of Shakib Al Hasan, Bangladesh captain, their premier all-rounder. Yesterday, on the eve of the match, Hature Singh said we will not risk him if he's not 100% fit. What do you think? Is Shakib Al Hasan going to play, because he was not there in the practice session yesterday?
Yeah, obviously, but I for one definitely see if Shakib is 95% fit, then he will play, because you need Shakib. Obviously, his average against India is not that great. He has only averaged 32 odd, and he hasn't scored 100 also against India. But definitely, he's a big match player. We all know he's one of the best all-rounders in one-day cricket. But even if Shakib does not play, I mean there are other players who can chip in, like the likes of Mushfiqur Rahman, Mahmudul Riyad, Liton Das. Obviously, then you have Tawhid Rida, Najmul Hassan Shanto. So they have a decent side.
Absolutely. You said mentioned Shakib Al Hasan. Shakib Al Hasan in
India has been doing incredibly well in the World Cup, and it is not that difficult to get complacent with your efforts, especially against teams like when you meet Afghanistan or Bangladesh now. Will you be looking for any answers today?
Raja actually made this point in a very important one, that when you win against Pakistan in that comprehensive manner, there can be a low. Because you are on such a high, you're emotionally charged, you won that game, it can happen. There are two good things. One, the Pakistan match was on the 14th, today is the 19th, so there have been 4 days. Please have your thumbs up. Enjoy. So 4 days, that has allowed the things to simmer a bit, which is good for India. Number two, these guys are now professional cricketers who I don't think take Pakistan like that. So a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli, they know it's a long World Cup. The stumbling block is in the semi-final. So I don't think complacency will be an issue.
I don't think so either. I think this is a very professional team. Both Virat and Rohit know that this is probably their last 50 over World Cup, and they will want to win it. Virat, of course, has got the trophy in his cabinet, but Rohit as captain, never mind the speed challenge that he picked up yesterday on his way from Mumbai to Pune for speeding. Never mind that, the way he's played, I think we all want him to speed like he did in that last game against Pakistan. But he will want to win, and I know that he will get the team to rally around him, and Rahul Dravid, great calming influence around. I think this team is probably at its peak. The last few months were not probably the best, but this team right now looks in good shape. But to talk about the fans, I'm sorry to be digressing from cricket. I think Indians, the subcontinental passion that we get to see for spectating, if we might use that word, changed in the last 25 years or so. 1996 was probably the beginning, but England got a taste of it in 1999 when India and Pakistan played in Manchester. After that, cricket has not been the same.
See, I come back to the original question, whether there will be complacency or not. I think the days of complacency are gone. because these are hardcore professional players. They know what price you have to pay if you are complacent. So they know there is a job to be done. They know that they stumbled at a very vital block in the last two editions of the World Cup. So they would like to do better this time. And they know in order to do that, to achieve that, they have to get this complacency thing out of their system. So I don't think that should be a factor. Bangladesh playing well, some of the Indian players having an off day, that can happen. But that will not happen because of complacency.
I think a very important point that Paras Mamre made at the press conference, the bowling coach saying that they're not going to try and rotate bowler. India might have been very tempted. Fans have been asking for it. Why is Mohammad Shami not playing, or why is Ashwin not playing? At this ground in Pune, I don't think they're going to attempt any changes. I think they will very sincerely stick to the 11 that's been tried and tested in this World Cup so far, and so there is no room for complacency. Paras Mamre was kind of mentioning that this team is very committed to going forward the way it can.
Absolutely, those are our thoughts. But it would only make sense if we had a former Bangladeshi cricketer talk about the rivalry, isn't it? So that's is precisely why we have former Bangladesh captain Athar Ali Khan talk about the India versus Bangladesh contest that will be happening today.
Similar conditions in India, and if you look as a former cricketer, as someone who's in love with cricket from day one, the first thing which comes to my mind for Bangladesh team is that what they have done in the recent past. I mean, they played against India and they kept on winning, and they pulled up a win against India in a one-day international. They beat England in one of the one-day internationals. They've had series win against Ireland and Afghanistan also in the T20. So they've started to show that if these conditions are similar, the one they have played at home, because remember the conditions, we have started to play in different conditions. If you've noticed at home, we started to produce a little bit more livelier wickets in Sylhet and in Mirpur, with a lot of grass being left on the surface, so that there is something for the seam bowlers, because we have a very strong spin department, as we all know. Shakib Al Hasan is right at the top of the game. I mean, he can do wonders with the ball and the bat. And you have Tajul Islam and Mehdi Hasan Miraj, who's also been very, very, very good. There is Nasum Ahmed. But having said that, now the idea for Bangladesh cricket is actually turning around. Instead of relying on spin, they feel that they can rely on seam as well. The likes of Taskin Ahmed, the likes of Ibadat Hussain, the likes of the youngster Hassan Mahmood, then there is Mustafiz Rahman. So if everything gets together, and if they continue to play the brand of cricket they have played in the recent past, I think they have a golden opportunity. I'll repeat myself. They'll have a golden opportunity in the World Cup in India. And don't be surprised that they'll go on to surprise quite a lot of big teams in that particular World Cup, which will be stayed in. And he can just light it by fire, I can tell you that, because he's more than capable of doing it. With these conditions, I think Shakib is Shakib is a kind of a player. It doesn't really matter where he plays, who he plays against. What matters to him is to go and make a statement, whether with the ball or the bat or as a skipper, because he's been performing, as you mentioned, everywhere. The franchise cricket you talk about playing overseas, you talk about playing at home, and also all three formats of the game. And mind you, Bangladesh strongest format is by far one-day format, the white.
That was Athar Ali Khan talking about the rivalry, but I think when we look at India versus Bangladesh, it's always looked at as Bangladesh spinners versus India batters, because that has been something that has troubled India for some time now, spin. And we've got some interesting stats on here, which says Virat Kohli has been dismissed 8 times against left-arm orthodox since 2021 in ODIs, 8 times. In 2015, Rohit Sharma was dismissed thrice by Mustafizur Rahman. Since then, he has not been dismissed so far in ODIs by Mustafizur. Since 2022, Bangladesh have won 3 out of 4 ODIs against India. What does that say?
It tells you an old story. It could be very different today. I do agree with Athar. They want to win here because they have waited for so long to play a one-day international against India and India. think it's close to 25 years that they've been wanting to play a one-day international. All these stats that we've just shown our viewers will lose relevance if they don't follow it up in this game. I think Virat has got a terrific record against Bangladesh. He will not want to give his wicket to Mustafizur. Even Athar and company, all of them will agree that Mustafizur is no longer the same bowler he was when he came in. He was deadly with his swinging Yorkers. He's probably lost a bit of pace and people are able to read him better. But he's still able to pick up a wicket or two. He will be a key, obviously. But Shakib playing, I think that is the key. He goes back to 2007, if I'm not mistaken, the World Cup in the West Indies, where Shakib and two other left-arm spinners stifled India. That's not going to happen.
See, yes, spin has been one of their major strengths. We all know that. But I also do not overlook the pace bowling resources they have at the moment.
You're right.
If you remember, 2015, they beat India in Bangladesh in a one-day series for the first time. That victory was built on the medium pacers. Yes, they played 3 or 4 of them. Yes, Mustafizur is not the force that he used to be anymore. They have Taskin Ahmed back in full form, back in full fitness. They have another left armer, I think, Storiful, who's also a little bit makes the ball move here and there. So do not underestimate their quicker bowlers. They are a side which depends on more on spin, but they have a good stock of fast bowling as well.
Just to let you know, Shakib went on to check out the pitch. That's what we get from the stadium, from our reporters. So could be an indication that he is fit to play. Could be, because that's what tells you that Shakib going out there to check the pitch. That's what we are getting from the stadium. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. We have Shubhayan and Debashi joining us once again to look at what the atmosphere is like in Pune at the MCA Stadium.
Tawhid Rida, Najmul Hassan Shanto, so they have a decent side.
Absolutely, you said mentioned Shakib Al Hasan. Shakib Al Hasan in particular have a great record against Virat Kohli. He has dismissed him 5 times. So another battle to look forward to in that middle over phase.
Absolutely, and that is why Bangladesh need a Shakib Al Hasan. Means obviously, and he's a big match player. Means he's a match winner in his own right. But having said that, Bangladesh have a lot to worry for, because the rhythm, the momentum the Indian team is in, it will be an uphill task for Bangladesh to challenge the Indians.
Absolutely, everyone is hoping for this Rohit Sharma team to lift the World Cup, but before that it will be 4 out of 4. You can see this poster. He has mobbed Saurav Ganguly's iconic jersey celebration outside the Lords, and everyone is hoping Rohit will replicate this in Ahmedabad when India lift the World Cup. Whether that happens or not, it remains to be seen. But yes, in today's game, it will be an important factor for Rohit Sharma to continue his form. He has looked in great touch. He's looking like a different batter altogether, with a different template also.
Absolutely, and obviously for a big tournament you need the captain to fire. You need the captain to lead from the front, and that is what is happening with Rohit Sharma. And as I mentioned, obviously this Indian team, there has been contributions for everyone. Means obviously one would hope that Shardul Thakur, if he gets a chance, he makes it. He puts up a decent performance. But talking about the bowlers, be it a Hardik Pandya, be it a Jasprit Bumrah, be it a Mohammad Siraj, be it a Hardik Pandya, Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, everyone has chipped in and everyone has done well, and that is the best part of this Indian team, because everyone is firing in all cylinders.
Expecting any changes? I think
maybe Ishan Kishan might come in for KL Rahul, because it's a big tournament and KL Rahul has been playing ever since he came out from that injury. He has been playing day in and day out. So it won't be a surprise if the team management decides to get in Ishan Kishan ahead of KL Rahul.
absolutely. So all eyes on Ishan Kishan.
India and Bangladesh are very similar when it comes to culture. There's so many similarities between the two countries. We are divided by a boundary, yes, but what are we united by? Mishti. And that is why we did a very special shoot with Mishti. We went out, we talked about India versus Bangladesh, and we also ate a lot of Mishti. Look at it for yourself.
The one commonality between Bengal, as in India, and Bangladesh is Mishti, what Trisha just showed you behind the camera. And I've got my 2 colleagues, Shormishta and Gargi, here to taste the Mishti as we celebrate India v Bangladesh. Over to you.
Yes, this is a common love between Bangladeshis and Bengalis and all Indians, of course, for Mishti. This is a common palette. Mishti, I think there is more traffic of Mishti between India and Bangladesh than people actually, because anyone coming from Bangladesh buys Mishti and takes it home, and when we go, we are always asked to take Mishti from Kolkata.
And Gargi, since coming to Kolkata, has been gradually getting converted into Mishti. Thoughts?
I mean, it is incredible. This range of sweets here in Kolkata is incredible. I have had, I don't know how many, we've visited 2 or 3 Mishti places by now, and every single time there's something amazing coming out of them. It is incredible how much Mishti this city can churn out.
You know, this is the industry. This place, Girish and Nokur is one of the most famous Mishti shops.
Iconic.
It's the iconic Mishti shop in the city. So when Bangladeshi fans, by the way, Akarda, if you're watching, I told you on backstage with Boria, when you're in Kolkata, Akar bhai, we must come here and have Mishti. India v Bangladesh, Gargi, spicy match, but it's also sweet because it's the same language, the same national anthem by the same man.
Absolutely. Isn't it always very fantastic to see India versus Bangladesh? Because you see, brothers coming in, the fraternity of India versus Bangladesh, and all of the fans that have so much in common coming in and celebrating a sport that we both countries love so much. It's always such a good sight to see.
Your thoughts?
Yes. Indians and Bangladeshis, Bengalis and Bangladeshis, we share a common history, a common love for Mishti, and this clash, it's going to be spicy, but it's also going to be sweet, like a clash between brothers, which is spicy and sweet.
Okay, on that note, it's time to taste the Mishti. Ato gyan dicchi, we're talking so much. Itna bol liya yaar Mishti ke bare mein, kuch to khana chahiye. Time for the 3 of us and Trisha and Umakanto behind the cameras to taste the Mishti. There you go, time to taste. Baba, নতুন কি আছে সারাদিন?
Get the Mishti out of jail.
Yes.
Is this chocolate? What do you think? Mishti and chocolate. A combination of
Yes,
the two.
this is chocolate sandesh, so you must taste this. One chocolate sandesh for this lady.
And look at these two, representing both Indian and Bangladeshi
Look at this.
flags. I know, so
The
orange.
orange and the green and সাদা উপরে আছে, making it the Indian color. একটা chocolate সন্দেশ.
It looks like dhokla, but I'm not sure this is going to be.
It's not dhokla.
Give this to her.
This is for you.
Okay.
আমাকে একটা কুলফি.
Wow.
There you go. This is the chocolate sandesh.
Yes.
This is the kulfi sandesh. You can try. You're welcome to try. You take this. I'll take from her.
Okay,
Now,
yeah.
You take this.
Amazing. No, this is incredible.
Why are you not opening it? Stop it.
Lava is good word actually. I'm not going to say lava is good.
Like you saw in the video, I made a great discovery that day. When I cut through the chocolate mishti, I found choco lava inside, which was very surprising. And just like that mishti, who do you think could be the surprise element today?
Pune has had history. I take you back to 1996, where Kenya beat the West Indies in probably the greatest upset of all World Cup history. Even though we've seen a couple in this series, I think Bangladesh beating India will not be a surprise. Will maybe a shock if it happens. But I really believe that it's going to be Shubman Gill's day today. Someone like him should go out firing and score a lot of runs and probably get a World Cup 100 as well.
You know, I'll say Rohit Sharma, the way he's continuing, and one of the two openers, he mentioned Shubman Gill, the way Rohit Sharma is continuing looks really good. And if you see England, once he gets on song, he just goes on and on.
Yeah.
I mean, from the pitch report, what we were seeing on the host broadcaster, Kuldeep Yadav might get a bit of turn, but as Akshay said, Pune can be a high-scoring ground, so there should be a lot of runs as well. Reckon toss India bat first kind of thing, because we've not batted first.
See, India has not batted first yet, but given a choice, I think that's their preferred ploy. If the wicket is a normal Indian batting wicket, they would like to chase. That's what they did. I mean, in the one match they won the toss, they chased. But yes, in the 3 matches they have not batted for first yet. But I do not think they will deviate from their normal chosen ploy.
This is a chasing team.
They are a chasing team, and this is a chasing ground. So why would they change it for the sake of a change?
Agree. Yeah.
Yup, and it is almost time for toss, but with the kind of wicket, and there hasn't been a match at the Pune Stadium in this tournament. So, what do you reckon, India, like we talked about? Because if there's any chance of the pitch disintegrating in the second innings, would you still want to chase with the Bangladesh spinners ahead?
See, what we do not know is the factor of dew. I mean, if there is dew, definitely batting will become easier in the second half. But we do not know about the dew factor yet. Going by how Indian pitches behave for one-day matches in general, and how Pune has what Pune has offered in the past, based on that, we can assume that it's going to be a high-scoring game, and the team that's batting first should be targeting something around 300, if not more.
I think they have rolled whatever grass was there very nicely, so it should be a good batting surface. My heart reaches out to the bowlers. Good luck to them. They've got a challenge today. But 300 plus score looks on the anvil to me. From as was pointed out, the nature of the pitch there, the nature of the track and its history, that it's going to be a high-scoring game. The batters are going to have a field day. Kuldeep with his wrist spin could be the key bowler for India, and I would like to see him be brought on very early in the innings to try and stop Bangladesh.
We are also being told, Raja, Shakib hasn't come out to toss. So that's a massive moment for the game. And
it's almost like Wasim Akram not
playing against India in 96.
Yes, it's already a minute played.
Shakib not coming out to toss against India will give India a big boost.
It's a great comparison that Raj just mentioned, Akram in the 96 game, but I think Shakib to this Bangladesh team means more than what Akram meant to that Pakistan team. Shakib, this is Shakib's team. He is the informed player. Their top 3, top 4 are not scoring runs. The batting, the load is carried by Shakib, Mufikur and Tualis and Mahmudullah. Shakib gives you 10 overs. He's one of their main bowlers, one of the best bowlers in the world in this format. So missing Shakib in this kind of a game will be a huge loss for Bangladesh.
Well, I think it will add to the challenge of the captain to be able to take the team at short notice, to have a few seniors around him. I see a very distinct similarity to what Amir Sohail faced. Javed Miandar was part of that Pakistan team.
Correct.
And he was in a zone of his own. And I think the Pakistan team was split. I hope for Bangladesh's sake that it doesn't happen to them.
Shanto coming for toss. Okay, good.
That's surprising because we were expecting Shakib Al Hasan to come out to toss, but it is Najmul Shanto who has come out. So that's something we should be looking into because we don't know what's going on over there in the Bangladesh dressing room. Hopefully, it's no case of injury or something like that happened to Shreyas Iyer.
Shakib, yesterday we were told by our reporters that they will not risk Shakib if he's not 100%. Bangladesh has won the toss and decided to bat first, is what we are getting from the centre. Najmul Hasan Shanto winning the toss and deciding to bat first. So India gets to chase again. That's what you guys were saying. India gets to chase. We will get you the team, but your thoughts. Najmul Shanto coming out to toss in place of Shakib Al Hasan. When you have senior players in that dressing room, interesting call.
I mean, yes, you don't just send out a different person to toss just because you don't feel like, you go and toss. You don't do that usually. So it is a very telling sign that maybe, just maybe, Shakib Al Hasan is not in the team for today.
Yeah, he's not there. He's not there. I mean, clearly.
So there is no doubt that Bangladesh would have known for a couple of days. They've been trying to play mind games with the Indians. Shakib walking out to take a look at the track a short while ago would have sent some kind of thoughts into the minds of the Indian cricketers.
He trained the day before. He trained for a brief.
He played for a while. He did play for a while, and I'm sure the Bangladeshis would have told Shanto that he's going to be leading the side. The team would have to come around him and play a good game. They've given themselves a chance, lucky at the toss to be winning it and then batting first and trying to put pressure on India by getting a big score. But India has got the bowlers, Gargi and Dada. I think the new ball bowlers, Bumrah especially, doesn't really depend on what kind of a track he's bowling on. I'm hoping that Siraj, if he's playing this game, will understand what he needs to do on this track and bowl the right length.
Okay, so Nasoom Ahmed in place of Shakib Al Hasan is what we are getting. Nasoom Ahmed in place of Shakib Al Hasan. Tell me something. Shakib Al Hasan not being there, would you have pushed him? Would you have got him a 80% Shakib, 90% Shakib into the mix, or you would have said no, recover and then get fit and currently the next game?
No, you don't push anybody for that matter. I mean, if it involves the risk of inviting graver damage, I mean, more serious damage. I mean, if you are, 10% unfit now, it become 20% unfit or 30% unfit. So that will become worse. So I think, and this is still their fourth match in the tournament. There are at least 9 matches to play.
Okay, just to stop you there, same 11 for India. That's what we are getting, same 11 for India. There was some talk of change, but as Raja said, Paras Mamre had indicated that in the press conference. So same 11 for India. They aren't taking any chance. They are not going to play into anybody's hands and say complacency or rotation. Nothing like that is what we are getting from the centre.
Absolutely. No change for India. But Najmul Shanto has actually talked about Shakib Al Hasan and he said that he is struggling quite a bit and that is why he has been left out of the squad.
Oops. I hope he recovers for the next one because without Shakib to continue with the tournament will be a big problem.
I think it makes sense because in the quest to beat India, use Shakib in the big game against India, even if it is if he's 80% fit, the risk is of aggravating injury. I think it's about smart management. I think Bangladesh has made the right call. Yes, they will miss Shakib Al Hasan, his experience and his three-dimensional cricket. But I think they made the wise decision of not playing him in this match and trying to trying to field 11 that is fit and available. I think makes sense for him to be recovering and hopefully in the next couple of games he will be back in action.
Absolutely, and just before Gangi goes again, Atro made this point about India wanting to chase, and that's what Rohit Sharma said at the toss. He would have bowled. He said we would have bowled, so clearly this team prefers chasing. Both teams have got what they wanted, but as you said, this team wants to chase, and that's the point that Rohit Sharma made at the toss.
Yeah, unless there is something very sinister about the pitch, I think the Indians will take this as the model, as the template. They would like to chase, and yes, today they didn't have to choose. Bangladesh made that decision. I think Bangladesh chose to bat because their batting is a little bit weaker in the absence of Shakib. So instead of chasing without Shakib, they have decided to put up a total on the board and then see what their bowlers can do. It's a sensible ploy, I think, given the circumstances.
You got the teams?
No, we don't have the Bangladesh. Oh, we do have it. So we have Liton Das, Tanzid Hassan, Najmul Shanto, Mehdi Hassan Miraz, Tawhid Hridoy, Mustafizur Rahim, Mehmadullah, Nasoom Ahmed, Hassan Mahmood, Mustafizur Rahman and Shoriful Islam. That is the Bangladesh team. How do you look at this game now that Shakib Al Hasan is out?
I think people like Tawhid Hridoy, I mean, someone that Atar Ali Khan really talks up, saying domestic cricket, great talent, has come into the international scene. This is the forum. Make the most of it. If you are a talented man, India, billion people watching, so much broadcast, this is your place to come and shine. Somebody like a Najmul Shanto, Tawhid Hridoy, even a Mushfiqur, come on, make the most of it.
My own mind, Dada, is about Liton Das.
Yeah.
Providing the stability and batting through as much.
He's got 100 against us in the 50-over format in the past.
He's not somebody who's going to belt the leather of the ball, but he's somebody who can bat for long spells, ensure that others bat around him, and try and put that 300 on board to try and put India under pressure. But they will have to bat around that one cricketer, Liton Das.
You remember Liton Das's innings in Australia against us? He almost snatched that T20 match away. Rain break, Liton Das on song, rain. Bangladesh was in control of that game.
I think Liton has not had a great World Cup yet. The only match where he clicked was against England, where the chase was they were chasing 360 plus. So Liton Das not being among the runs has hit Bangladesh quite hard. I mean, none of their runs, and they have struggled with number 3 and 4 as well. That, in absence of Shakib is going to make the task very difficult for them. And we mentioned Hridoy, but Hridoy was batting too far down the order, I thought. If he's a batter, he should be batting at number 3 or 4, not at 6 or 7 or 5. So yes, Bangladesh have problems in batting, and India will have a go at them. It's a very difficult attack to handle with a depleted kind of a batting lineup. So it's going to be a test for them.
Absolutely, and when we're looking at this particular World Cup, this could be very well for a few legends, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. It could be the end, not the end, but it could be their last World Cup in India. What are your thoughts on Virat at this point?
I mean, look, that Australia match, he was sensational. I mean, if you look at that man, he's sort of had a taste in 2011 of winning, but that team had a Tendulkar, a Yuvraj, a Sehwag, but this is his team. Look at those visuals, Rajan. Look at those visuals. Look at the kind of people queuing up both sides of the road, standing there. That's the kind of fan.
Complete contrast to Ahmedabad, which could take 135,000 people. This ground has less than 50,000 capacity, but it's almost like all of Pune is turned up at
Correct.
Town.
And from people will travel from Mumbai, people will travel from the neighboring places. Fantastic visuals to see. But to answer your question on Virat, this World Cup means a lot to him because this is his World Cup. 2011 wasn't his World Cup, it was Sachin's World Cup. So if there's any World Cup that is Virat and Rohit, they're center stage, it is this one.
Absolutely, and because he's been such a great, a legend for Indian cricket, we all want him as a friend, don't we? In my mind, Virat Kohli is also my friend, and that is a mistake, or rather a genuine mistake that Nicolo Campriani made and called him, while congratulating him, called him his friend, but he cleared that out, and we have had a great conversation with Nicolo Campriani. Look at it for yourself.
You've given me a lead by mentioning the word that all of India wants Nicolo Campriani to talk about more after his comment at the IOC session where he says, quote, my friend Virat Kohli with 300 plus social media followers. Just tell me a little bit about, the what you meant by that. I mean, combination of so many, obviously he's a huge icon, but when you included cricket, it's a fascinating story and a great mark in India. Your thoughts about it?
Yes, just the fact that that sentence went viral is a great testimony of the power of my friend Virat, as well as the platform of cricket. I mean, it really went viral. It was kind of funny because, just to be clear, I'm sure he's a lovely person. I'm not a close friend of Virat. It was just a way to bring it up into the conversation, and I apologize if I was misleading in that. But look, it's really mind blowing to talk about cricket and present cricket here in Mumbai in India. Like we could feel that excitement the day that the moment we walk outside that room. Look, we are thrilled to welcome the world's second most popular sport. The facts are fact. This estimated number of 2.5 billion of fans worldwide is going to be a game changer for the LA 28 games, but also for the whole Olympic movement. And there were few questions also from the members. Is like, okay, but why in LA? Why not waiting until next games? And Brisbane, of course, Australia being one of the strong countries in cricket. And in the end, people don't realize how important is actually the growth of cricket in US, and it has already started. It has already started with the MLC, with the Major League Cricket, and people will realize it more and more now with the T20 World Cup coming next summer in US in iconic location in US as well as the West Indies. So it's going to be a unique platform to boost this process. And it was important. Cricket really played a strategic role when it comes to the package, right? It's you can see that there are some traditional American sport like flag football as the contact-free version of American football, as well as lacrosse, as well as baseball, softball. So it was important to propose a package that was balanced in that sense, and I think that narrative, which is in the end very clear of showcasing American sport to the world and introducing global sport to the US. That's really what we wanted to send as a message. So, but yeah, I thought it was really funny that it truly went viral. It's I reached out to Abhinav in case he knew Virat, which by the way he does, and it's like, okay, so say sorry for me. It's like I didn't mean it, but if anything, it's a great testimony of what cricket is in India, and yeah, it's truly mind blowing.
So there you go, Nicolo Campriani talking about the inclusion of cricket and Virat Kohli. Nicolo Campriani, one of the greatest champions of our time. 2012 London Olympic gold medalist, 2016 Rio Olympic gold medalist. Fantastic athlete. His and Abhinav Bindra's rivalry in the annals of Olympic sport is much like Carl Lewis or Mike Paul or Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, just to set it up for you. And then the refugee project. I mean, Nicolo Campriani and Abhinav Bindra both giving back to society in a manner that few have. Think about the refugee project ahead of Tokyo. Nico was trying to do the organization, Abhinav doing the fundraise, and the two of them put it together for the IOC. Thereafter, in 2021, Nicolo Campriani left Lausanne. He was working for the IOC, and now he's gone and taken over as sports director of the Los Angeles 2028 Games. So he was the one who put together that package: cricket, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and of course squash, to have that chat with him. Think about it, saying, Virat, he's told Abhinav to apologize. Great guy.
It came very naturally to him. I was in Mumbai when he said
Yes, you were there, yeah.
And it came very naturally to him. We looked up at the giant screen where there was a large picture of Virat Kohli, and he said, my friend Virat Kohli. Now, who is Virat not a friend of, right? So, I'm sure he meant it in a beautiful manner.
100%.
And it came through so nicely. It came warm and genuine. I don't think we need to apologize to anybody for making Virat his friend.
In fact, I've actually written to him after that saying, if India does go on to play 28 with Virat in that team, and if Virat has that medal around his neck, all of India will go and thank you for doing this rather than you having to apologize to Virat.
Absolutely, and we'll be going back to the MCA Stadium to look at what Shubhayan and Debashish have been up to with the fans.
And everyone has done well, and that is the best part of this Indian team, because everyone is firing in all cylinders.
Expecting any changes? I think
maybe Ishan Kishan might come in for KL Rahul, because it's a big tournament and KL Rahul has been playing ever since he came out from that injury. He has been playing day in and day out. So it won't be a surprise if the team management decides to get in Ishan Kishan ahead of KL Rahul.
Absolutely. So all eyes on Ishan Kishan. Ishan Kishan did bat twice in the last 2 days, and he batted long for almost an hour. So it remains to be seen whether Ishan Kishan gets game time or not in this game against Bangladesh, especially where they have Shakib Al Hasan. So Ishan Kishan might be a best bet to counter him, and that would give some time for KL Rahul to have some much needed rest after playing continuous cricket since coming in the Asia Cup. And talking about Bangladesh, all eyes will be on the pace attack as well. Taskin Ahmed is there, Mustafizur Rahman is there, who has played a lot of cricket in India in the IPL.
Obviously, Alan Donald has been working a lot on this fast Bangladeshi pacers, but then the conditions will not be that suitable for the pacers. Obviously, and herein lies the experience of someone like a Jasprit Bumrah, who can utilize the conditions irrespective of the wicket. So I think Bangladesh will have an uphill task as far as today's match is concerned, but you can actually enjoy the vibe. You could actually sense the vibe, because there are similar visuals like Ahmedabad. Obviously, it's a sea of blue in front of the main stadium, the gate number 2, as the Indian team bus is about to arrive.
Absolutely, the craze is sky high. People have come all the way from Mumbai, from Pune city, from everywhere around India to witness India make it 4 out of 4. Whether that will happen, it remains to be seen. It's a mixed soil pitch, so expect plenty of runs. It's a shorter boundary, so I'm expecting anything above 300, whoever bats first, and it will be a high scoring game.
Absolutely, one would expect a high scoring game, and obviously let's hope that India goes on to make it 4 out of 4.
Absolutely. So that's it from Debashish and myself outside the MCA Stadium. Now back to studio.
Well, before we say goodbye to our wonderful viewers, what are the answers that you will be looking for in today's match when it comes to India's performance and your predictions.
And your Mirchi. The other day you gave a Mirchi.
Yeah, Mirchi, who will be the Mirchi of the match?
It will be Shubman Gill for me.
Look at that. Bangla Bang.
He is the Mirchi of the match.
He's the Mirchi of the match.
And perhaps Kuldeep Yadav. Because on a track like this, he holds the key to how soon India restricts Bangladesh.
But actually, frankly, these fans are more passionate than Indian fans.
They are, and they are the ones who make this atmosphere at the venue. Yes, Indians turn up in greater numbers. They also, they make the event what it is. Otherwise, you see spectators from England, spectators from Australia. They are very enthusiastic, but they don't have this world about themselves. The noise, the color, everything that Indians bring about, that's unparalleled. Second to them will be the Bangladeshis. The spectators, when they go to the ground, you can see the kind of costumes they wear, the level of noise they make. They're very passionate about it, and they lift us atmosphere. You feel as if something is going on, a World Cup is going on. So,
how can someone wear this and
in this
be
heat,
as in this heat and be as happy? From our team, only Shopnil can, who's our producer. But I will request Devashish to try this once.
Absolutely. Something, a blue tiger or something?
Yeah, he only wears blue. So all of you guys have complained to us on Twitter, why does he wear blue? Because it's a sea of blue. So Devashish is determined he's back in India.
Well, my only point to the fans is that treat every game like a game. Except if it's an India-Pakistan game where it becomes important matter for everybody. Treat this like a game, even though it is India-Bangladesh. I've seen Bangladesh fans get very upset when the team goes down. Everybody remembers that famous run out that Mahendra Singh Dhoni pulled out. Last ball, he collected the ball and then sprinted like Usain Bolt. Fans were very disappointed. The Tigers must remain Tigers. Come back another day and try and win again.
BCB Tigers, and one remembers Mushfiqur Rahim going back to Dhaka after that, and there was a lot of disappointment because of that Mahendra Singh Dhoni brilliance. And yes.
Quick prediction: how many runs will Bangladesh put up on the board, and who will win?
I think India should win this game. It's a game for India to win or lose. Bangladesh may not like what I just said, but India goes in as favourites. Hopefully, the Indian bowlers will stop Bangladesh inside 250, and then Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill can both get 100. Dada can be happy, I can be happy. Both openers.
Sure, Bangla. Just sing. We have to stand, that's why we won't hear. But otherwise, Jono, Shumar, Bangla, we can sing all. In the studio, all of us will sing. Atsu can sing, it's the lead today.
That won't be very nice, but yeah, I think it will be a surprise if Bangladesh manages to beat India today. But we are talking about what we are looking forward to, what we are looking at from this game. I would say I want to see how Shardul Thakur performs, and this pitch should not have anything for his kind of bowling. But he's still in the 11, so he will do some bowling. Although he got just 2 overs against Pakistan. So I would like to see how
I think he comes. He has joined the list of bowlers, Ashish Nehra, Ajit Agarkar, who have not been liked very much by fans, but they deliver. I think Shardul Thakur has picked up 3 fours and 4 fours at very opportune times for India, and has put India on song several times.
So the Tufan of the match for me, going by our sponsors, thumbs up. I'm actually sort of looking at Shubman Gill, like he said, along with Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma always in a World Cup, and Jasprit Bumrah because he's getting back on song. And if India wins,
there's so much talk of song happening now.
Yes,
absolutely. And that is all for this chat. But we'll be tuned with you throughout the match. But to say goodbye this time, we have a very special song by Agni in Bangla.
Yes, and we'll explain the song. Why don't you play the song and I'll explain the song.
Yes.
তুমি টোন সেট করার কথা বললে আমি একটু টোন কেটেই বলছি। আমরা বাঙালি জাতি পাড়ায় খেলি পিট্টু, রনে বনে ইউনিয়নে পাজামাতে গিট্টু। আমরা বাঙালি জাতি পাড়ায় খেলি পিট্টু, রনে বনে ইউনিয়নে পাজামাতে গিট্টু। চক্ষু বুঝেই সেন্টু খেয়ে শহীদ শহীদ ভঙ্গি, আর গুলির আগে সারেন্ডার আর প্রেমের আগে লেঙ্গি। এবার গুলির আগে সারেন্ডার এবং ম্যাচে লেঙ্গি, এটা কিন্তু বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে বলা যেতে পারে।
So this is a Chandrabindu song, which is a very famous band here in Kolkata, written by Chandril and originally done by Onindo, who's a very dear friend of ours, but Ogdi performing that little piece from that song. It's about Bengali culture, and that's what unites India and Bangladesh. We are divided by borders, but if you actually see the map, India, Bangladesh, there's so much to share. so much common bond, be it the mishmash or the hilsa, be it the dress and the Dhakai shari, be it the Ganga and the Podda, be it the language, be it everything. And that's why Raja is very right when he said, whoever wins, whoever loses, let's enjoy this game of cricket. With that, yes.
Goodbye. I think that sums it up perfectly. I don't need to add anything to that.
So come back and join us mid-innings with Gargi and the three of us, and we will be back post-match as well. But till then, Bangladesh hopefully will be able to put up a fight. Once again, Shubho Panchami, বোধন আজকে দুর্গামার মূর্তির বোধন সবাই ভালো থাকবেন all the very best to each one of you. Enjoy the game.
कौन रन मारेगा आज कौन रन मारेगा आज
48 is coming. India, 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 India,
कहाँ से आ रहे हो आप लोग?
पुणे से।
क्या रोहित शर्मा किंग कोहली दोनों के फैन हो गया?
हाँ।
कौन रोहित शर्मा का फैन है, कौन किंग कोहली?